Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I've been out of commission for about a week. I've had laryngitis and I'm still kind of getting over that. But I wanted to come on today. Um, we're going to talk about widow from surviving to thriving. And that's what the topic is. This is Widows Cafe. Please like, subscribe, and share. I would also love to know how you survived as a widow. So please comment as well. Just to give you a little bit more background on me, my parents were teens when I was born. My mom was 14, my dad was 16. And I've always felt blessed to be here because if my parents did not have supporting parents, I could have been given up for adoption, aborted. So I've always felt there was a blessing on my life. I just came from a faith-based environment where my parents, we had several religions. I mean, from Methodist, Baptist, Jehovah's Witness, we had it all. So I learned from an early age about God and having faith. Little did I know how much I was going to have to rely on that faith. But my parents had always taught me to be whatever I wanted to be. They were always so supportive. I could not have handpicked better parents. Unfortunately, my mom passed in '98. My dad is still around and vibrant as ever in Las Vegas. He is my mentor. When my husband passed, my dad came and he stayed with me and my daughter for 30 days. And that was just a tremendous help. I also had support from other family members. I'm here in Iowa. My daughter and I were in Iowa, so all we had were local friends. We had no other family in Iowa. But when my husband passed, I really had to think of the blessing that he brought to our lives. I never questioned God because it's not my position to question. It's for me to find out answers, to learn where do I go from here. And most importantly for me, it was how do I continue on so my daughter can live a productive life. So I had a choice when he passed. I'm from Indianapolis. Been in Des Moines for 36 years now. And it was, okay, do I move back? Our daughter was 14 at the time, getting ready to go into high school. She was a track star around Iowa, had broken some records, and I did not want her to start her life over proving herself again. And so I chose to stay in Des Moines. So that's what we did. As I continued to look at the blessing that my husband had brought to our lives, one of the things is the company he worked for 23 years before he passed had given our daughter a $20,000 scholarship, and she now works for that company. And so God has just always worked things out. And I noticed the more I sat back and watched God do His work, the better things became in my life. So, number one was I was in a faith based environment, and I had supportive family and friends. Well, that's kind of a second part, the family and friends support, but my faith in God was first. Family, friends, support came next. That was very, very important because you will find yourself, I don't know where you are in your journey, but eventually you're going to have to come to terms and think, how do I move on from this point? And my biggest thing was I wanted our daughter to continue on and have a productive life. And I know that's what my husband would have wanted. So that kept me going, making sure that she stayed on track, that she got a college education, and that she graduated from college. And that's what I did. And so I never really had a pity party for myself. Oh, poor me, what am I going to do type of thing, because my focus went off of me onto my daughter. And that's what really helped me get through it. The third thing was the internal monologue, and that is just your self-talk. I had to go back to the basics because I grew up in a very supportive environment with my parents and other family members. And in the meantime, I had let other men that I had dated really get into my head and rent space in my head. And so once I got beyond that and got my bearings back, and it's like, no, this is not how my life is going to be. God gave me free will to think. I don't need someone else thinking for me. And if you get involved with the wrong person with a narcissist type personality, they will have you thinking you cannot be successful or do anything without them. And so I just thank God that He was behind the scenes the whole time in my life, guiding me and my daughter through this. But I had to get still and be quiet and see what was it that God really wanted for me. And so I went from surviving as a widow to thriving today. I am currently in school to be a family therapist, and all of my experiences brought me to this point. When my husband and I got married, I've always been the type to want to work. I mean, that's just in me. That's just in my DNA. So I always wanted to keep my skill sets up. And unfortunately, when my husband passed, I was 45. And so because I had continued to work in the corporate world. I have over 25 years experience in management and training. And because I had some skill sets, I was able to continue on. So financially, I didn't have to depend on living with the man, or definitely not having a man move in on me and my daughter. So I was able to continue on with a career. And so that's kind of how things panned out for me. Everybody's experience is different. Everybody does not have family support. Everybody's not a believer. But what everybody does have is that internal monologue, the self-talk. What will your self-talk be? And that is so very important, because if you're letting people in your life that are negative, well, you're going to find your self-talk being negative. Oh, poor me. How am I going to do this? I can't do this by myself, and just on and on. So it's very important who you surround yourself with and what your self-talk is. And as I mentioned before, some of my favorite authors, Brene Brown, Michael Singer, Tony Robbins, the list goes on and on. But those three I really like, and Dr. Phil as well. So if you do not have family support, you can take time to read self-help books or listen. They have podcasts now, so you can be in your car driving and listening. And so that's how I continue to feed my soul in order to get back to the self-talk that God put in me. So I hope this helps you guys. Please, again, give me your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next time.